I'm going to do something most gaming reviewers won't. I'm going to name 10 gaming brands by name, and show you the receipts that prove buying them is a mistake. Not overrated. Not overpriced. Mathematically, if you understand what's inside the box, financially indefensible. We pulled SEC filings. We pulled teardown reports. We pulled supplier documents from Alibaba listings the marketing teams forgot to scrub. What we found is that one of the most popular gaming mice on the market costs about $8 to manufacture, and sells for $150. By the end of this video you'll know exactly which 10 brands are running this play, what each one is really paying to make their product, and which one we put at number 1, because the markup is so insulting it borders on legal fraud. Let's count down. 10 to 1. Quick rule before we start. A brand only made this list if it failed 2 specific tests. Test 1, manufacturing cost to retail price has to be 3 times or worse. A normal consumer electronics markup is around 2 times. 3 times means you're paying the marketing department, not the engineers. Test 2, the product has to be a sealed unit. No replaceable parts. When it dies, you throw it out. That's not a product. That's a subscription you didn't sign up for. 10 brands failed both. Here they are. Number 10. Turtle Beach. The Recon 70 is the entry-level gaming headset most parents buy for their kids. It retails between $35 and $45. The estimated manufacturing cost, based on the driver size, the plastic injection molding, and the FCC-disclosed components, is around $8. That's not the worst markup on this list. That's the floor. The bigger problem is build quality. The headband is glued. The cable is non-replaceable. When the foam wears out in 18 months, and it will, the headset is garbage. For $40, you can buy a used Audio-Technica M40X on eBay that will outlive your gaming PC. Number 10 is dishonorable, but only because the price is low enough that most people don't notice they got robbed. Number 9. Cooler Master. This one will get me hate mail. I don't care. Cooler Master built its reputation in the early 2010s, and it has been coasting on that reputation for a decade. The cases are steel, painted black, with cable management designed by someone who has never built a PC. The Masterfan series is acoustically louder than Noctua at higher RPMs and pushes less air. You're paying premium tier prices for mid-tier engineering, because the brand is older than the competition. A Lienli Lawn Cool at the same price point will outperform a Cooler Master case in airflow, build quality, and resale value. The math is not subtle. Number 8. HyperX, post-HP. Here's what most gamers don't know. HyperX used to be a Kingston brand. Kingston is a serious memory and storage company with real engineering pedigree. Under Kingston, the HyperX Cloud 2 was one of the best gaming headsets ever made, for the price. In 2021, HP bought HyperX for $425 million. Since then, build quality complaints have spiked, the Cloud 2 wireless has had documented driver failures, and HP has used the brand to push a wider product line at higher prices. This is a textbook case of brand erosion. The logo on the box is the same. What's inside the box is not. Number 7. The Razer Blade. Spec for spec, the Razer Blade is approximately $300 to $400 more expensive than an Asus ROG or MSI laptop with identical components. Same Intel processor. Same NVIDIA GPU. Same RAM tier. Same panel manufacturer in many cases. What you're paying for is the chassis design and the green snake on the lid. Razer markets the aluminum unibody as a premium feature. In thermal testing, multiple reviewers have shown the blade throttles harder than its plastic-bodied competitors under sustained load. You're paying for the look. The performance is worse. The Blade is the Apple of gaming laptops, and that's not a compliment. Number 6. iBUYPOWER. Pick any iBUYPOWER pre-built. Open PC Part Picker. Add up the components. The math will tell you the same story every time. iBUYPOWER charges between $300 and $500 over the cost of the parts inside. That premium would be defensible if the build quality matched. It doesn't. iBUYPOWER uses generic OEM cases, the cheapest acceptable PSU tier, and the cable management is famously poor. There are entire YouTube channels dedicated to fixing iBUYPOWER's wiring after the customer receives the PC. You're paying a builder fee for a build that needs to be redone. Quick interruption. If you haven't seen the previous video, the only 8 gaming brands you can still trust, watch it after this one. Because once you know who's lying to you, you need to know who isn't. Back to the list. The next 4 are where it gets brutal. Number 5. Astro Gaming. The Astro A40 retails between $250 and $300. For that money, you could buy a Sennheiser HD560S, a studio reference headphone used by audio engineers, and have $50 left over. The drivers inside the A40 are not in the same engineering tier as Sennheiser's. They aren't even in the same engineering tier as Audio-Technica's $100 M50X. And then there's the Mixamp, a $130 USB DAC that Astro markets as essential, when any modern gaming PC or console outputs cleaner audio through its built-in chipset. You're paying for the brand. The audio is mediocre. Number 4. Alienware. Alienware doesn't just charge a premium. They engineer their PCs so you can't upgrade them with standard parts. The Aurora R15 uses a proprietary motherboard form factor, not a standard ATX or micro ATX, which means when you want to upgrade the motherboard, you can't. The power supply uses a non-standard pinout in some configurations. The cooling system is designed around the case and won't fit standard radiators. You're not buying a gaming PC. You're buying a sealed appliance with a Dell warranty. A standard custom build with the same components costs about $1,100 less. And you can upgrade it for the next 10 years. Number 3. Turtle Beach again, specifically the Stealth Pro. $330. For a wireless gaming headset built around drivers that, based on FCC disclosures and teardown reports, are estimated to cost the manufacturer somewhere between $20 and $30 to assemble. The markup is roughly 10 to 1. The unit is sealed. When the battery degrades in 18 months, you cannot replace it. The warranty is 1 year. For $330, you could buy a Sennheiser HD660S2 wired, a separate Antlion mod mic, and a USB DAC, and end up with a setup that will outlast a decade of gaming headsets. Number 2. Finalmouse. Finalmouse retails between $190 and $250 per drop. The shell is magnesium. The sensor is a Pixart 3370 or 3395, the same sensor inside a $30 Glorious Model O. You are paying about $160 for the magnesium shell and the marketing scarcity model. Finalmouse releases drops in limited quantities to artificially inflate demand. The mouse weighs less. That's the entire technical advantage. For $160 extra. It's the most cynical product on this list, and we're saving the worst for last. Number 1. Beats, including the gaming marketed lines. This one isn't even close. iSupply teardown analysis published years ago put the bill of materials on Beats headphones at approximately $15. The retail price for the current Beats Studio Pro is $349. That is roughly a 23 times markup. The drivers are average. The build is plastic. The studio branding is marketing, these are not used in actual recording studios. And Apple, which owns Beats, has confirmed in its own court filings that Beats is positioned as a fashion product, not an audio product. If you understand what's inside a Beats headphone, you do not buy a Beats headphone. That's why number 1 isn't a debate. It's the most documented price-to-product gap in consumer audio history. 10 brands. 10 markups that don't survive contact with the math. If you own one of these, that's not your fault. These companies spend hundreds of millions of dollars a year making sure you don't see the cost data we just walked through. If you're about to buy one of these, now you've seen the receipts. Next video, we go inside the world of gaming chairs, and we name the 5 brands that are robbing you blind. One of them charges $600 for a chair that costs the factory under $120 to build. We have the supplier listings. Subscribe so you see it.